A warm welcome again to CyberSocial with VJ, and again we're recording live here in Kathmandu in Nepal. With me I have Mr. Prabesh Poudel. He's the Information Security Officer of Nabil Bank here in Nepal. So a warm welcome, Prabesh.
Thank you so much.
So Nabil Bank is actually one of the first private commercial banks of Nepal. It's got a great name here. It's actually one of the main banks which is driving the digital marketing, digital banking initiatives here in Nepal as well. So thank you again for joining me and a warm welcome. So, Prabesh, it's quite well documented that technology is slightly behind in Nepal. But we're witnessing a huge digital transformation at the moment. We're seeing a rise in digital banking, e-wallet solutions, online banking. Internet has actually been sort of put as an essential service by the government recently. All of this, of course, increases the risks. Within security. So, with Nabil driving digital banking as well, InfoSec is a huge element of that. So, what's been done to ensure that everything is secure, as secure as it can be?
Yeah, I absolutely agree that digital, the transformation is happening worldwide right now, and even Nobel Bank is doing the same. And if you talk about digital transformation, then security transformation and digital transformation has to go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe, and we are doing the same thing. And for that, we are looking into different factors, like even when we are onboarding any digital channels, then we have to make sure that proper security assessment is being done before onboarding, and even after that we have to make sure that the proper monitoring is done. And
Okay,
yeah,
brilliant. And
yeah,
recently we've seen a big rise in sort of phishing attempts.
yeah.
In Dubai, I think
Yeah.
it was the record amount in pandemics. Um, how important is security awareness, security culture within an organization, and making sure that not a lot of people click those phishing links?
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing these days, because if you see the the pattern of attack, then you can see that the attacks are being done targeting to the customer, like
Mm-hmm.
the end users. So they have to be very aware of what kind of emails they are getting, or maybe there could be like email phishing or voice phishing through phone also. That's also happening right now. So awareness is very important, and so I can see that within my role also. So I've been the one of my role is to make sure that the my end users are aware of information security, and that's what I'm doing. And also I can see that the users are being aware. They are even if they get any kind of phishing emails, then they just ask me if this is a genuine or not, and they are aware that the links should not be clicked immediately,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
maybe like they should not forward that. That kind of awareness is there, and that's something which is very important. If you see the most of the attacks worldwide, then one thing is for sure that they are targeting end users.
Right.
That's where they enter, and that's why awareness is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that most of the organizations they are actually focusing on that. Yeah.
Brilliant. I think the number of times my mum has got phishing emails, and I
Yeah.
always tell her, look for grammar, look for the email address. Microsoft aren't going to send
Yeah,
you from
yeah,
Gmail.
yes, yes,
Why would they give you a free laptop?
yeah.
Just general things. I've been teaching my grandmother, who's more active on the iPad as well.
Uh,
And I guess you're speaking with professionals in the bank who aren't necessarily technical. So
Yeah.
you need to sort of communicate with the
Yes, it's true.
stakeholders
Exactly,
how they
exactly,
understand.
exactly. Not only the like the I'm not talking about the staff only. Even if you talk about the customers,
Mm.
the awareness level in them also is equally important.
Right.
If you see the recent fraud incident that has happened in Nepal, you can see that the similar kind, like you got the lottery or something
Yeah.
like that. That kind of incident has happened recently also, and people are being fooled by the fraudster or hackers. So I think the awareness level in the customers or the users or everyone is equally important.
Right.
Yeah.
And in 2019, there was quite a well documented attack in
Yeah.
Nepal's sort of whole financial
Yeah.
ecosystem. So the Nepal electronic payment system was
Yeah.
eventually hacked,
Yeah.
and what followed was a string of ATM hacks. I
Yeah.
think ATM heist. I think they recovered 12.6 million rupees, which is about 110,000 US dollars, which was recovered by the Nepal police. Um, at that time, the digital security of the overall sort of banking sector and the financial sector was questioned. What's been done since then to prevent incidents like this from happening again?
Yeah, so that was a triggering factor for all of the financial institutions in Nepal. So what we need to do, so everyone's like, super alert after that. So the need was the reassessment of each and every infrastructures that are there in the banking institution. And I think most of the financial institution has done that. And the more focus was then after was the monitoring part.
Right.
Because, yeah, that is something which is very important. And the monitoring, as in the overall security monitoring, like the establishment of SOC center. So that has also been done in Nepal. Most of the IT companies, security companies, they are like establishing SOC center in Nepal also. So the things are changing, and it's improving.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Just being a bit more proactive, I actually met with BJG. By the time this is released, the other one should be released. So,
Yeah.
Vira of Technologies, and he, of course, is working with financial institutions here, which is great. So, the reason that, or one of the reasons that the hackers and the criminals were caught back in 2019 was actually because of a tip-off from Nabil Bank staff to the police, to the Nepal Police Cyber Bureau. So how closely do you work with law enforcement agencies?
Yeah. So actually, what had happened that time was it was the awareness level. I just talked about the awareness in the user is very important. So I think the reason we would able to actually find out that incident that hacking was because of the awareness level of one of the staff.
Brilliant.
So what he did was he checked out the the ATM machines, and he saw that something is suspicious. So immediately he escalated, and we dig down on what happened, and we looked into the different our monitoring system. We could found out we could find out that something is wrong, and then only we were able to catch up the hackers in Nabil Bank, one of the ATMs only. So immediately we reported to the relevant people, stakeholders out of our banks or the people who were infected, and then also to the eventually to the regulated body and police also. And so that's how we were able to.
Right. So it was actually someone in Nabil Bank,
the
headquarters, saw that something was wrong.
Yeah.
So it was the security awareness training that he received.
And to he was not a technical guy.
Right. Okay.
He was a non-technical guy who was aware that something this could happen. This could be malicious. So that's how he triggered, and that's how.
He was just sort of checking. He didn't know if it's malicious. He doesn't know if it's legitimate. He was just escalating.
Yeah.
Because he felt it was.
Yes, exactly.
Even if there's a slight doubt, he sort of escalates that, which is brilliant. And I think the police actually caught one of the hackers red-handed in the ATM machine.
Actually, our staff only did that, and they informed the police, and they came. And that's how the police caught up the criminal, and there were a lot of other people also. Not only that particular guy, but his team was there, and most of the team were caught up.
It was quite a targeted attack. I mean, they were, they had multiple cards, multiple passports, multiple sensors. They had a whole sort of operation room as well. And I think it wasn't the first time that happened. It happened a few years ago with some other people. But I mean, good thing is since then we haven't seen this happen. So hopefully it's sort of it's progressing. So. You're an ISO, obviously at Nabil. It's actually a regulatory requirement to have an ISO in financial institutions. But Nepal, we're seeing. I mean, again, I spoke with Bijiji, and he mentioned we're seeing 250 graduates per year in Nepal. Cyber graduates, and it's an absolutely huge amount. So he was mentioning they came with the charm of being a hacker, and they want to study cybersecurity after that. Will we see more of in-house security teams in the future, perhaps? Because I don't really, there's a huge supply of cyber talent here, which is brilliant. We need that all over the world, but there isn't necessarily the opportunities. So, will we start seeing more in-house security teams, bigger teams, perhaps in-house SOCs? Where do you think this is going? What do you think the future is for these 250 graduates per year?
Yes. So I've been dealing with the fresh graduate in Nepal, and I actually believe that they have a lot of talent. But then, the security team. So we have two options. Any organizations have two options. One is either they do it themselves, or they outsource it to the third party. And I think that both the options is good. So whatever option they choose is up to the organizations only. And but then yeah, the people are there, the security, the graduates or the security experts in Nepal, they have a good talent, they are doing good also. Even we are actually doing VAPT from one of the one of the companies in Nepal only.
Hmm.
And those people, the people who do VAPT are the fresh graduate or
Yeah.
the some years of experience, and they are actually brilliant.
Great.
But it's our like responsibility, it's responsibility of the government or from Nepal to make sure that they have enough opportunities in Nepal.
Mm.
Otherwise they will go outside, and we'll have to again outsource it to the
Yeah.
different.
So I guess it's
Yeah,
a case of, I mean, Nepal's got a strong history of
yeah,
talent moving abroad,
yes,
and
yes,
not even talent, whether it's skilled or unskilled,
yeah,
outward migration is a huge
yeah,
thing. So I guess
true,
it's a case of giving them the opportunities here,
yeah, true, true,
or even if it's not for fresh grads, experienced people to come back to Nepal.
yes, exactly true, exactly
Um, I think we're seeing a bit more of a trend where professionals decide to move back to Nepal when they
yes,
see the opportunity.
yes, true,
And especially with the rise, in digital banking,
yeah,
e-wallets, fintechs,
yes,
payments companies, it's for me personally, is one of the most exciting industries. And the company I work for, Kanda, that's where we focus as well. So hopefully we can see more people
yeah.
staying in Nepal and moving back. So for cyber professionals, other than the lack of as many opportunities as they would like in Nepal, what are the main challenges? Is it um, people? It's not really a priority, perhaps, or it's not. It's not a budget. But what would you say the main challenges are?
Okay, so if you talk about 5 years, 5 6 years back from now, information security was not the priority of any of the, I will say most of the organizations. That's what I, see or that's what I heard from people, right? But then now the priorities are changing. The organizations have actually understood that information security risk is one of the critical risks for any
Yeah.
organization, right? So the challenges still is like the security, technology implementation has a huge cost,
Mm.
and to have that cost, bear by small organization is a big challenge for them. But if you talk about large organization, they are doing it, and so they are doing it in a priority basis also.
Brilliant.
So that's how it is changing here.
Mm.
Things are changing. That's what I say, and it's going in a good way.
That's brilliant. And
Yeah,
I think even the government, they're introducing the National Cybersecurity
yeah,
Centre, and
yeah.
that shows their
Yeah.
willingness to progress
Yes,
the
true.
whole
And even if
thing
you
as well.
see, like national TV also, they are giving us some kind of awareness video for the
Mm.
citizens. So that is where we see that even government are focusing on information security and awareness.
Yeah.
That kind of good things are happening. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. I think for me personally, my main aim was to share Nepal's cyber landscape with everyone,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which is great. And it's great to see that it's progressing. Not only doing it so proactively, but also the entire nation.
Yeah.
And long may it continue. Prabesh, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah.
This is actually the last live or in-person cyber social I'll be doing here in Nepal. I'm flying back to Dubai tomorrow, but the next one to be released is going to be with the CISO, where we discuss. Where it's going to be a Q&A session with graduates or talent looking to break into the cyber field. So very excited about that. Prabesh, thank you so much again once more.
Thank you so much for calling, and it's a great being a part of this show.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the entire Nabil Bank team.